Hi everybody, welcome back to Muscoot Farm. Today I want to bring you to one of the probably more hidden or less talked about places in Muscoot Farm, and that's our greenhouse. So as you can see, there are lots of plants getting ready to go into the ground for our garden. Being a farmer is a lot of hard work. You have to plant things and schedule different times that they go in, because right now the ground's a little too cold for things to just go in. So you start them in the greenhouse and give them, a good start, and then you put them into the ground when it gets a little bit warmer. And so we're going to go over some of this stuff here in a little bit, but I wanted to read to you The Bee Dance by Rick Chrustowski today, and it has to do with plants, and so I thought it would be fun. All right. When sunlight warms your honeybee wings, off you go on flower patrol. Follow a sweet scent floating on air to find a honeybee goldmine. A prairie in bloom. Sip sugary nectar with your bendy straw tongue. Yum. Race home. Climb the beeswax comb. Excitement buzzes all around. The other bees know that you have news. Do the waggle dance, honeybee. Make a figure 8. Twirl in a circle. Wag your body up the middle run. Then twirl around the other side. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Waggle faster, honeybee. Buzz louder. Your dance points the way to the prairie. How long you waggle your body tells the others how far to go. Now the bees know just where to fly. Soon they will see flowers reaching towards the sky. Go to work, forager bees. Collect nectar to make honey. Stuff pollen into baskets on your hind legs. Stay out late. Carry your heavy prize back to the hive. The last glow of sunset lights the way home. Unload your cargo and store it in the combs, then settle in for the night. When you wake up, warm your honeybee wings in the morning sun and dance the prairie jitterbug once again. And so this is a little kind of story about why the honeybees dance. So I'll try to read it and just to explain a little bit. It says, honeybees have an amazing way to communicate with one another that is unique in the animal world. They perform a dance that indicates the direction and distance to a rich food source. When a scout honeybee finds a good batch of flowers, she zips back to the hive to tell the other forager bees where she found it. She climbs the beeswax comb inside the hive, then dances in a figure 8 motion. The waggle run, the straight part between the two circles, shows the angle the food lies relative to the sun's direction. If her waggle run moves up the comb, she is telling them to fly toward the sun in the direction of the angle. If the waggle run moves down the comb, the other bees know to fly away from the sun. The dancing bee can tell the other bees exactly how far to fly by how long she waggles her body. Each second of waggling stands for a particular distance. For example, if 1 second of waggling equals 3,000 feet and a bee waggles her body for 5 seconds in the waggle run, she is telling the forager bees to fly 15,000 feet or just under 3 miles away from the hive. During the dance, the bee will pause and give samples of the nectar she gathered to the other bees. They can also smell with their antennae the sweet scent of flowers she visited on her body. If the dancing bee buzzes loudly and performs the dance vigorously, the other bees become excited too. They know it is a particularly rich food source, like a prairie in full bloom. Even though there can be up to 50,000 bees in a hive, it is an orderly place. Each bee has a specific task to perform. There is one queen, she lays the eggs. There are thousands of worker bees. They care for young bees, clean and guard the hive, build the combs, scout for new food sources, and forage for nectar and pollen. At certain times of the year, drones or male bees are produced to mate with the queens from the hives. So that's a lot of information about bees, but it's really cool because we know that bees are kind of in danger nowadays, and with Earth Day just happening, it's important to do what we can to help protect the bees. So here at Muscoot Farm, whenever we plant stuff for the garden and for the property, we kind of take that into account. So some of the things I want to show you, or if you follow me over here, a lot of this stuff is just stuff that's getting ready to go, but we have like this right here. This is milkweed. We try to find a lot of native plants, but a couple of the really cool things that I like to show you is over here. And this one is called Good Bug Blooms. And as you can see here, all of these blooms are helpful for bugs in one way or the other. Right now in our gardens and in our yards, we have probably a lot of things that people call weeds. We have dandelions, and we have, you know, like the wild garlic and things like that. But believe it or not, a lot of these plants, even though we think they're weeds, are beneficial to insects, because right now it's about the only thing that they can get until the gardens are in full bloom and the fields and the prairies. So right now, over here you can see this. This is called variegated cat grass. This is grass that cats can eat safely. So if you have pets or a bunch of barn cats like we do at the farm, then you can feed that to them. I'm seeing some right here. This is some summer lettuce that I planted. This is dino kale. We also have these are little cucumber plants right here. We have peppers that are growing. These little tall or tiny things here are garlic chives. Again, we have over here, this is paprika and jalapeno peppers, New York onion. These are doing fairly well. And then again, we have some just regular flowers. So, well, this is Swiss chard here, and we have zinnias, snapdragons. I'm just looking at echinacea here, bergamot, marshmallow, believe it or not. There's a bone set. These are eggplants, peppers. So hopefully sooner rather than later, this stuff will all get put into our garden at the farm, and we'll have a very nice garden for all the bees and bugs and people.